Okay, we're back. We're not at TR's garage this time, but this is the 1979 FLH Stonkin shovelhead video that I put up. As you can see, we've been through the bike again on the cosmetic side, not the motor side. I actually ended up buying a bike from TR myself because I just liked riding it so much. So we're just going to do a walk around video today, tell you what's in it and how we arrived where we did. You'll see if you saw the other video, and hopefully you did, that the bike has changed significantly on the cosmetic side. I just got back from a 100-mile ride on it. The bike still only has less than 500 miles on the new motor that TR built. So I'm just going to go through it and tell you all what we did here. So let's start off at the motor. The motor it's got S&S flywheels. Remember I told you that the bike was full of mud when he got it. Literally, he broke open the cases, put in S&S flywheels and rods. It's got S&S barrels, it's got S&S heads. There's Wiseco 9.5:1 compression pistons and rings in there. The valves, obviously all that is S&S, but the rocker boxes are the stock rockers. I don't know if you can see how good the motor looks on this bike. There is an Andrews AB grind cam in there. It's mild, but it's a little peppier, obviously, than the stock cam. And it's a true dual exhaust. You see that rear cylinder exhaust. Obviously, he fabricated that to make a true dual. We've got to figure out how to beautify that a little bit. And that is an S&S high flow oil pump there too, and also an S&S 5-speed transmission. That fifth gear, man, on this thing, it really makes a difference. It really hauls with that. When I went looking for another old bike, I was hoping to get a generator bike. I was looking for either a pan or a generator shovel, but those bikes have just become so expensive lately. They're really, I mean, it's hard for a regular guy to buy one now at this stage. It's got the stock wheels, as you can see, the 16 spoke mag wheel. The tires are Dunlop Elite Americans. These are 4 or 5 ply tires. They're a much harder tire and they're made for real long distance riding. You may remember what the bike looked like in the previous video. It had the stock light with the big light bar behind it. We got rid of that. We put on a nice looking tombstone lamp there with the LED turn signals attached, pretty small. New York City, where I spend most of my time, police are really anti-motorcycling, so I don't like to invite them to look over my stuff. The tanks are they're genuine Harley, but they're not the right tanks for the bike, strictly speaking. These are the larger 5-gallon tanks that came off an 80 a later model, I think maybe an Evo, not 100% sure. And also we have to use an aftermarket Speedo because of the S&S tranny. We couldn't match it to the original Harley Speedo. I put on a pogo seat, single, with a luggage rack, because I'm trying to get just for more of an older style look, even though the bike is a 79 80-inch shovel. This is my first experience with a pogo seat. It's quite a difference, but I mean, I really like the look of this thing. Also, we had it painted and badged. Chris Brown of Brain Bucket Customs in Newburgh, New York painted this. I'm sure I'm not going to do it justice, but it's an outstanding paint job. That tank, if you see it in the flesh, man, it really pops. Fender, stock fender. That fender light that came off, that's I think the original, the full dress bikes back then may have had that fender tip light, but you don't see it a lot. And the forks and the headlight nacelle, everything has been chromed out. Oh, I also put on the yellow lenses on the passing lamps, again just for more of a retro look. Here we go. This side of the bike, it's got an oil cooler in there. Makes a difference. It's also got a high output regulator alternator kit. I think it's 30 amps. Single fire ignition, 2 coils right there. What else can I tell you? The shocks, I believe, are stock. I don't know. The rear sprocket is a 52 tooth stock sprocket. That's pretty much it. But the bike is outstanding. I mean, I just, like I say, I did 100 miles on it today. I'm in Hudson, New York, so from here I take over the Rip Van Winkle Bridge. If I do 23, 32, 23A, 214, 28, 375, 212, 9W gets me back home, and that's a really pretty ride. It takes me through the towns of Catskill, Tannersville, up over the mountains, Woodstock, Phoenicia. Pretty much it. But beautiful ride on a beautiful bike. I mean, this is the best. When you're sitting in this seat and you have those wide handlebars and a big chrome headlight, that's really the best the best view in all of motorcycling, I think. I mean, I'm not talking performance, I'm just talking enjoying a really cool ride on a really beautiful older motorcycle. You can see underneath the seat here, I was able to get that old frame cover. I'll probably get that chromed over the winter. Just like having it on there. They're hard to get, man, and you can pay like around $300 for those if you see them on eBay, you know. And it's hard to find one in really good condition. That one's got a little ding on it, and it could also do with maybe a good old polish, well, just to brighten it up a little bit. The luggage rack here, just again more for the retro look than an actual functionality. That's an aftermarket one, I guess Drags or wherever, I forgot where we got it. But that's our 79 FLH bike. Let me see if I start it up, give you guys a listen. Oh. I'm a little hard on the starter, I guess. I got a couple of different bikes and they all start differently. Stock pipes. Little adjustment to the baffles, give it a little bit of runtier sound. But that's it. That's the 1979 FLH finished in its finished state. The only thing I'm thinking about now putting on is maybe some old white fiberglass bags on it, if I can find a pair. But I'm not sure if I want to just keep it bare like this or put the bags on it. Alright, that's it. That's the bike. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.